Welcome to the 3-Part Connection with Tommy. I'm feeling a lot better from my medicines and all from yesterday. Have an asthma attack from 2 days ago. And I'm great to give you all some wrestling news. And to start off, as always, this video is going to be on SmackDown, NXT, and the Superstars results. And I have not yet gotten the main event dark matches results from last night because they haven't been posted. And I'm going to start off the news with some comments from Gregory, the Hurricane, Helms, interview on Aftermath Radio, available on iTunes. He commented on thoughts on Randy Orton's wellness suspension and how Orton will be treated upon his return. If the rules are you get 3 strikes, then you get 3 strikes. If a guy is playing baseball, you don't just pull him off the plate after 2 strikes. If that's a rule, then you got to follow them. I mean, if he has 1 more strike, then he's got 1 more strike. If he has one of those talented guys, he is one of the most talented guys in the world. The most talented guy in the business by far. I mean, you can't just put him in a mid-card scenario. Maybe the push isn't as strong, I guess, but you got to give the guy some benefit of the doubt and keep in mind that it's a victimless crime. And I read some news that it is not a marijuana issue this time around. It's an issue with the real sports issue. It's like a enhancement drug that he had been taking, but it is not been posted what it was. And I'm not told that they even enhance performance on or sold on who gets to decide what's legal and what's not. Caffeine is a performance enhancing drug in a sense. We find it in soda every day. I mean, it just depends on who decides what's what. I've always been one of those people. As long as you're not hurting others, then you can do what you want to do. But that's tricky because you want to have a good image for kids. Does he have designs on returning to WWE? In Hurricane comments, I am very happy with what I'm doing right now. Being away from WWE and the schedule has given me time to do other things such as have a family because his fiance or wife, or I don't know if they've actually gotten married yet, H2H waitress on the Highway to Helms story. She is pregnant and expecting very soon. I understand that she was in the hospital and having some difficulties, but is not cleared yet. And it has to be a top priority for you. At one point, if you've got nothing left and nothing going and nothing left to do, then go elsewhere. A lot of guys can't ever come back from that because wrestling was all that they had and it consumed most of their life. And when it's gone, there's nothing to do, but they can't let go, and they can't really deal with not being in that limelight. Because he has invented an application on your phones. It's a wrestling app. I will go into details a little bit further. He invented it himself. And he comments on Chris Jericho's Brazilian flag incident. What Jericho did with the whole Brazilian flag is in his character and was storyline. A character did that. Chris Irvine did not do that, and that is his real name. Chris Irvine got suspended. His character did what the character does on the show. We're supposed to know the law of every country we go to. I didn't know that the laws in America. Hurricane says he doesn't know the laws in America. You can't be going to a country and then expect to know. That's what the big deal is there. Me personally, I always can kind of stayed away from messing with a flag, but I have had fans give me a flag and I held it just as proud as I wear my Hurricane cape. There might have been some people who found that was disrespectful. I didn't mean it like that. Like I said, it was a character that did that, and Chris Irvine did not do that. Chris Jericho did. And he comments on how he feels about BWI 500 and how much weight does he and other pro wrestlers put on their rankings. I think it's cool for people coming up in the business because it's a way of getting your name out there that might not originally see. I would imagine it. PWI 500 was one of the most bought issues. I could be wrong, but it was one I always liked when I was coming to think. At some point, it becomes a level in your character when you know how good you are. I think, especially for the guys coming in, it's more important, and it should be. They're struggling to get their names out there. And he comments on other topics, such as he updated on his unborn child. He conducted the interview from a hospital where his girlfriend is under observation due to birth complications at the present time. It's a little bit early for her full term. And he comments on his own injuries stemming from his motorcycle accident over a year ago. And here's his details on his I'm a fight fan and wrestling fan smartphone applications. That's what they're called. So you can look for them on your smartphone apps. Why he feels he held a different standard compared to other television shows. W developmental wrestler Bo Rotunda is now listed as Bo Dallas as he changed it on the official website of Florida Championship Wrestling. And they are still doing a new camp this week. Unknown details, other than from what I did on yesterday's video with the Monday Night Raw episode. Okay, WME.com is advertising the Raw Super Show taking place August the 6th at AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas as Shawn Michaels Appreciation Night. Vince McMahon's return to television on next Monday's Raw Super Show is being done in response to the program's disappointing ratings figures in recent weeks. He will kick off the 3-hour show with an evaluation of John Laurinaitis' job performance as general manager of Raw and SmackDown, with which company officials are hopeful will boost first hour viewership. Hopefully they fire his butt. But to me, I'd turn the channel just to not watch him. And to hear him always say, I'm the Raw GM and the SmackDown general manager, and I got a voice problem since the big explosion I had an incident in Japan. Okay, well, the show was originally pegged as the second choice for the date of the annual WWE draft. However, with so many wrestlers working both Raw and SmackDown, the idea was dropped. And Kane was yesterday's featured superstar on WWE.com. Raw Super Show will permanently expand to a 3-hour show starting with the 1000th episode on July 23rd. And there was a rumor starting that it was not officially the 1000th episode. It was like 999 or something like that officially. But I'm just going with what WWE is advertising as the July 23rd episode. We still got 3 weeks prior to that, so that shoots the rumor on that. They were probably just thinking that next week's the 3-hour official, but it's not. This is just a regular 3-hour. Then they go back to 2 hours for a couple of weeks, and July 23rd will be permanent 3 hours. Okay. As I was saying then, okay. Of course, it's on USA Network. WWE officials have reportedly contacted nearly 24 former performers for cameo appearances on the program, such as Undertaker, which will be treated as a pay-per-view quality event. The entire roster will be on hand for the show, and there is a chance new talent will be introduced as well. Officials are hopeful that The Undertaker appears at the event. If he does, it will be likely be promoted weeks in advance rather than just as a surprise. And here's your dark match only, because I didn't get any results for after SmackDown finished taping. Seth Rollins defeated Dean Ambrose. If you're not familiar with Ring of Honor, well, Seth Rollins is from Ring of Honor, the former champion. NXT airing is the results are Tyler Rex defeated Jimmy Uso, Percy Watson defeated JTG, Tamina Snuka defeated Natalia. Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel defeated Heath Slater and Johnny Curtis in a tag match. And Hunico defeated Yoshitatsu. Well, okay, well that was the Superstar. Okay, Hunico defeated Yoshitatsu for Superstars for Thursday's SmackDown results for Superstars. And that's that. And SmackDown and all the previous are from Columbia, South Carolina. Ryback wrestled and beat regional talent John Schuyler and Michael Fraley. Schuyler has recently been competing for Billy Corgan's Resistance Pro, as well as New York Wrestling Connection or something like that, and many others throughout the country. And you can follow them both on Twitter at Michael Fraley. That's MICHAEL FREHLEY. And you can also follow the John Schuyler at Twitter. Just like it says, at the John Schuyler. Unknown jobber, so if you want to comment and ask them how they're doing, and give them good luck, and let them know how they wrestle, you can comment on their Twitter accounts on Friday night. And now for your SmackDown event. Alberto Del Rio opened up the show with a recap on his attack on Sheamus from Raw. Sheamus' music hit, but it's Rodriguez dressed up as Sheamus, including bright white tights and a shirt to emulate Sheamus' skin. Railroad Rodriguez does a hilarious imitation of Sheamus as Del Rio interviews him. Sheamus comes out, and the two fight up the ramp. And the real Sheamus came up. Okay, next segment with Teddy Long appearing and booked Sheamus versus Kane and Del Rio versus Khali. So I wonder if he's doing a SmackDown GM due to the fact of Larry Knights not being there. Have to see for later on the show. I'm reading it as I'm just finding out the results myself. Okay, Del Rio defeated Great Khali by submission in the first match. Backstage segment, Naomi and Cameron dance for Teddy Long, and then Brodus Clay shows up. Long tells them that he is now permanently on SmackDown. Brodus Clay gets serious and says that he will treat his opponent tonight as if he is Big Show. Brodus Clay then defeated Derek Bateman in a squash match. Sin Cara returned to action and defeated Drew McIntyre. Well, McIntyre cut a promo demanding that an authority figure come out and explain why he isn't in the main event status. Well, the authority figure that came out was Triple H and hit some pedigree and left. Ryback was up in the next match, defeated the two local jobbers I was saying earlier. Cody Rhodes comes out in the next segment and destroys the Peep Show setup that Christian had set up. He cuts a promo talking about Christian until Christian made his way out. Rhodes reminded everyone that Christian used to be a heel and says that no one is buying it. Christian finally gets it and explains his turn and says when he inducted Edge into the Hall of Fame, he had a moment of clarity and realized that he wants to be remembered for being a winner of championships, not someone who always whined for one more match. Dolph Ziggler interrupted for his match with Christian. Well, Christian defeated Dolph Ziggler in a non-title match. Michael Cole cut a promo telling people to move on past the mess from Monday as he got his barbecue sauce handed to him on his rump. So how did you like your rump? Your rump roast on Monday Night Raw, Michael Cole saw? Yeah, I want some slaw and some barbecue sauce with it. Hornswoggle then came out dressed up as JR, and he went back and forth with Michael Cole. Damon Sandow came out and verbally eviscerated Hornswoggle. Tyson Kidd saved Hornswoggle, and Sandow left the ring. Just as Kidd and Hornswoggle celebrate, Sandow snuck back in and beat up Kidd, hitting his neckbreaker finisher. And then a backstage segment with Matt Striker interviewing Kane. Striker asks about the look between Kane and AJ on Raw. Kane ignored it and stomps off. AJ then appears from behind some crates and probably does a little smile that she was doing on Raw. And your semi-final main event. Antonio Cesaro with Oksana defeated Jimmy Uso. And your main event was Sheamus defeating Kane by disqualification. AJ stared down Kane for the ramp after the match to close the show. And that ends my SmackDown, NXT, and Superstars results for this week of, well, today being June the 6th, and SmackDown will be on 9th, and Superstars is on Thursday on the 8th. Actually 7th, and then SmackDown is on the 8th. Thank you, God bless, and peace out. Good luck in y'all's future endeavors, as well as have a great day and great week, great month. Being this June, it's summertime. Have fun, folks.